Now, when I grew up, the internet was completely different than what you have today. For instance, you actually had to pay by the minute for every single second you were online, because in order to connect, you needed to have a dial-up, and you would connect through your phone system. And if your mother picked up the phone, your internet would crash. It was absolutely hilarious. And the internet was viewed mostly like a toy. Browsing would take ages. You would need 2 or 3 minutes just to open a website, and then 2 or 3 minutes in order to click the next page on that website. If you wanted to play video games with someone, you would have massive lag, and usually video games allow for 4, maybe 5 people to play together in a TCP IP connection. And the thing that most people used to do was to go on online chat rooms, stuff like IRC. Now, when you went on the online chat rooms, everybody, literally everybody, used a pseudonym. Like, no one would give away any personal information, because, like, that was the one rule of the internet. People knew that the internet was extremely dangerous. And as such, it was up to the user to have common sense. And the common sense included, do not give away any of your personal details. Do not click a link from people that you do not know. Even if it's a person that you do know, ask them before clicking the link. And genuinely have common sense. And as I said, for a while, the internet was used by a very small group of people, because number one, you had to afford it. Number two, you needed a lot of patience in order to navigate. And number three, it wasn't really that interesting. But then the social media websites start popping up. And I remember in Romania, it wasn't MySpace, it was a website called High Five. And on this website, people could just upload photos of themselves and post their real names. And this was absolutely bewildering for people from my generation, because I was like, why the fuck would anyone do that? Why would you post your real life photo on the internet with your address? And there were a lot of ladies that did this, because like, I think that's what attracted a lot of women to the internet. It was the invention of social media. And all of us on IRC were just like, well, this is such a bad idea. This is like, why would you post something that even if you delete afterwards, people can still save a screenshot and humiliate you years later? Because there were a lot of girls that were posting pictures of them that were in their grandmother's bathroom. Like this was a trend in Romania, you know, like you had a lot of girls that were still living in their mother's basement, and the only place where they can take a lewd picture was to go into the bathroom. So often you would go in this version of MySpace, and you'd see like the girl in a seductive pose, not wearing too much clothing, and the shitter was literally behind her. Like, this was a Romanian thing, an Eastern European thing, if you will. And all of us were bewildered. It's like, why would you post that on the internet? Like, even when you grow up, like 10 years in the future, people will still have that picture and they can use it to humiliate you. But I guess, like, the problem is coming with the trust and safety councils, right? Like, these few websites that we're having, because back then the internet used to be more than 5 websites. Now these 5 websites, all of them have trust and safety councils. And the idea is that Telegram is a dangerous place because predators are there, which would suggest that all these other websites are safe. And the answer is no, they're fucking not. Like, most of these other websites are just as dangerous as Telegram, but the thing is, like, they have good PR. In reality, the internet hasn't changed at all since I was a kid. It's still a bad idea to give away your personal information. It's still a bad idea to meet people that you've barely spoke with and meet them in real life. It's still a bad idea to allow your kids to go unsupervised on the internet. Nothing has changed except the optics. But it's also a bad idea because apparently these companies have access to your data. So I've been saying this on my channel for a while, but every single time a product is free, the reality is that you are the product. The reason that companies give you access for free to their websites is not just to serve you ads, but it's also to harvest information from you. And this information used to be revealed by a company that advertised on Facebook. I think they were a rival social media company that didn't kick off, but their big idea was on privacy. And the way that they did the advertisement is that you'd get an ad for them, and it would be like, you're seeing this ad because you like motorcycle, you like board games, you're a guy in your mid-20s, you like these types of movies and this type of TV show. So like basically they made their ad to actually show what type of information Facebook collects from you. And Facebook immediately terminated those ads, but they went for a while. And it revealed just how much Facebook is collecting. There's also the story of, and this, by the way, is not just a story, it actually did happen to me. But this guy is getting a lot of diaper commercials all of a sudden. Like, everywhere he goes on the internet, he's getting diaper commercials. And he's a little bit bewildered by it. It's like, wow, the diaper companies just inject a lot of money so that everyone gets to see it? Like, what is going on? And as it turns out, he finds out weeks later that his daughter was pregnant. So before his daughter got to tell him, Facebook already knew. And the reason Facebook knew is because the daughter was browsing all of these websites about being a mother and about childbirth and how to control your breathing and stuff. And this apparently shocked the guy. Now, I don't know why people are shocked. It's obvious that Facebook is collecting information. They're open about it. But now a lot of people are upset that the information that's collected is being used for AI. Well, what the fuck did you think was going to be used for? Like, you put it out there in the public. Like, you choose to make that information public. You cannot take it back. You cannot delete it. And even if you do, some people will have a copy of it. This is what you get. This is what, you're going on the internet and you want your family photo album to be known by the entire world. You want your most private moments that you're spending with your loved ones to be known by the public. And it's so fucking disgusting because you see some people, they go on holidays and trips and they can't enjoy being in there because they have to take photos. And, you get to see a lot of girls taking photos and posting them online. But what you don't get to see is that usually there is a guy taking those photos and he has to take like 50 or 60 photos until one of them is satisfactory enough for Milady to put online. So again, like, they go into vacations or they go into a nice restaurant and they can't fucking enjoy being there because they need like 50 or 60 photos taken just so that they can have one so that they can farm the likes. And then they also go Pikachu face when they realize that that is now being farmed for AI. Yeah. Whose fault is it, though? Whose fault is it? Like, can you blame the company? There's this famous quote of Zuckerberg saying that he's got the addresses and the personal information of a lot of his friends. And the person's like, well, how did you get that? It's like, well, they just trust me with it, those dumb fucks. And it's true. It's true. Like, you are trusting them. And what's interesting is that TikTok is evil because it comes from China. But Facebook is good because it comes from America when both of them are in the same shit. Like the communists and other dictators of the past would have died to have access to this information. Like, they would at least try to bug your house with to put the microphone in your phone. They would have to be stealthy about it, and if people found out, they would get upset. Nowadays, people invite the microphone in their house. They covet it. They crave it. And if you use these platforms and you're happy with it, that's fine. But when you use these platforms and you go Pikachu face that they're harvesting your data for AI, I mean, come on. Come on, you knew what you were getting into. One of the things that I thought about, especially now that I'm a father, is that when I'll allow my son to use the internet, you need to have a talk. Like there used to be, the moment that every parent dreaded is to have the talk about the birds and the bees with the kid. Because it's embarrassing, it's cringe. But like at some point you gotta do it, right? Well, apparently now you also need to have the conversation about social media. It's like, hey, if you go to Susie and you call her a retard, best do it face to face. Don't do it online. Because if you do it online, that can be a hate crime, Billy. Yeah, if you do it face to face, she may complain to the teacher. You may get into trouble. I would prefer you don't do it in her face either. But like, if you must, if you really must, don't do it online. Don't do it online because you can lose your account and you will never get it back. You get banned for life. And then when you want to get a job, little Billy, because you're now Big Billy, they're going to look at it, they're going to look at your social media, and they're going to wonder, why don't you have an account? It's like a fucking criminal record nowadays. Yeah, imagine Sarkarov Akkad, like when he ran for office and he had like all of these articles coming out and they were mentioning that he got banned from Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other platforms. It's literally like they were reading a rap sheet, like a criminal record. So yeah, you need to have this conversation with your kid. And it's like, look, when you're online, it's like you're accessing official documents. Everything you post will be there forever. Be careful what you post, little Billy. You know, use anonymity. Do not use your real name. Do not connect yourself with your private information online. Because you don't know who's watching. Bad people are watching. Yeah, you need to have this conversation because apparently people are Pikachu faced that this is happening. Like, come on, give me a break. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.